So AEW versus NXT, the Wednesday Night Wars. I personally find myself more on NXT's side than AEW's side. I haven't really talked about this before, so this is kind of my first time getting it out there. So I am pro NXT. Why don't I like AEW? That's a good question, and the answer is, quite frankly, I just don't like their style. The wrestlers are fine, and in fact, most of the wrestlers are like some of the best wrestlers in the world. So the wrestlers aren't really the problem. It's just kind of the way AEW is promoted and distributed, and the way their shows are put on. I don't like all the flippy shit. Like, it's cool. It's, you know, it's fine to watch, but I personally like old school wrestling more so than, oh, I'm gonna hit you with a Canadian destroyer and you're gonna kick out before the three. That kind of shit doesn't really make sense. They do a lot of big moves in AEW, and then it's all false finishes, and I hate false finishes. They're good when they're necessary, but when there's like 12 per match, it's not the best. WWE is really no better for that part of it, but AEW always preaches like, oh, we're new, we don't have any old guys, despite the fact that Christian, Big Show, and Sting have all debuted in this year alone, or Sting might have been the end of last year, but I'm not entirely sure. They have a bunch of old dudes coming into their company, yet they're preaching about the future, they're preaching about how they're the best, and we have the youngest guys, and we have the most agile guys, but then Christian, Big Show, and Sting show up, and Jericho is there too, so I mean, he's like 50, and he can't really wrestle as good as he used to. He's definitely out of his prime, but he's like the top guy there. He was for a while. I guess now they're pushing Omega and Moxley as like the top dudes, and maybe Eddie Kingston. But I don't entirely like the way AEW runs. I don't like their style, as I said. Let's talk about Revolution. I actually haven't seen Revolution, but I've seen the one clip that everybody on the internet has likely seen from the event. It's the funniest fucking thing. I love it more than I love life itself. They did an exploding barbed wire death match at Revolution between Jon Moxley and Kenny Omega for the AEW Championship, and oh my god. So, from what I've seen of the match, it's okay. It's a very tame barbed wire death match from what I've seen. No CZW shit here. But they tried, you know. I don't really understand why they went this route. Like, I know Moxley has been in CZW, and I know Omega hasn't. It was weird. It was a strange idea of a match, and it didn't work out well. And the match concluded with the explosion that happens at the end of exploding barbed wire death matches. Jon Moxley gets handcuffed in the ring, from what I'm told, and there's supposed to be a huge explosion. There's a timer up on the fucking Titantron. 3, 2, 1. Eddie Kingston gets in there, and he covers Moxley, because Eddie Kingston and Moxley are apparently buddy-buddy. The explosion goes off, and first it starts with some sparklers on the corner post, which is a good touch, and then just a little. Where's the boom? I thought Chris Jericho just cracked open a bottle of bubbly. No, that was apparently the explosion. It was very tame, very small, very bad. It wasn't really an explosion. Moxley wasn't affected by it, and I mean, they're gonna try to cover it up, but obviously it was just a botch in the pyrotechnics department, I'm assuming. Bad. Just bad. Horrible execution of a otherwise decent idea. Oh, man. That was rough. That was rough watching that. And the commentators try to sell it like, oh my god, Jon Moxley just exploded and his balls are on the ceiling! But no. I'm thankful Mauro Ranallo wasn't commentating that, because, oh man, he would have embarrassed himself. But yeah, that's not good. AEW is just not very good. They shit on WWE too much. That's another big fault they have. If you're trying to stand out and you're trying to be better than somebody else, don't constantly shit on them. Don't steal their people. Don't copy them. Like, don't I don't know. The way they're doing this whole Wednesday Night Wars thing is just horrible. And sure, their ratings are good, but ratings don't really mean shit. Like, I'm from Canada, and it's honestly hard to watch either AEW or NXT, especially NXT. If you have a channel, like you have to buy a certain channel, but if you buy the channel, you can watch AEW. There is no way to watch NXT in Canada on Wednesdays, and that's one thing nobody's talking about, but it's something that should be fucking talked about. And it might just be me, I don't know. I don't get the channel because it's on the USA Network only, and you don't get that in fucking Canada. So that cuts off a big part of NXT's fan base. People that want to watch it, but literally can't, but happen to have the AEW channel, so they just watch AEW instead. AEW is available in more places. That's why it's getting better ratings. It's not because it's a better product. It's a new product, which is also why it's getting the ratings. Because, I mean, NXT's been going since, I think 2013 is when it properly started, not the game show version. Because NXT started as a game show in 2010. That's where the Nexus came from. But then NXT kind of rebooted itself, and I believe that was in 2013, though I might be wrong. It might have been 2012, but it was somewhere around there for sure. But AEW is new. It's got new people that you're not used to seeing on television, and of course they're going to get better ratings for it, because they're selling it like it's the new fucking product. So everybody wants to check it out. That's just, they're going to automatically want to check it out to see how it is. And I mean, it's new. Once that wears off, it's going to be a more even fight. But AEW's won, I think, every week since the Wednesday Night Wars started. And whatever. A lot of the wrestling fans nowadays prefer the flippy shit. And I mean, I guess I understand, but I also don't, because that's not like wrestling. Like, it's different. It's a different style, and if other people like it, good. I'm not going to shit on you for liking AEW, because I do understand why you would like it, because it's sold as a different product than NXT and Raw and SmackDown are. It's different, and if you like that, good for you. I'll stick with NXT, because apparently, I just found out the other day that NXT is actually going to be able to be watched in Canada now, after like about a year of not being able to watch it. So that's good. I am going to be watching that every single fucking week. I don't have the AEW channel, so I'm not watching that. But apparently, these are just rumors, but NXT might be moving to Tuesdays to avoid the Wednesday Night Wars with AEW. I'd understand that if they did, and I know they're gonna poke fun of it at AEW, because, you know, they're leaving because they can't beat us. And I mean, oh fucking well, I get it. If there's strict competition and you're losing every single week, then you're gonna move nights to hope to better your I guess it'd be audience, yeah, but you want to better the amount of people that are watching your show. So if there's something else that's on the same night as you, you're going to want to switch. That makes sense. I get that. It's a business move if they do it, but it all, as I said, it all is just rumors at this point. And I'm going to finish the segment with a bit of a question. Can't speak English today. It's probably because I'm going too fast. I'm going to end the segment with a question. Can AEW beat WWE? And the answer is no. If anybody thinks that AEW will ever surpass WWE, they are extremely wrong. Because WWE has been going for upwards of, I think, 50 years at this point. It has a lot of history behind it. It is the go-to wrestling company. When people think of wrestling, they don't think of AEW. They think, oh, WWE. Like, AEW is just the new WCW. Quote me on that. Because everything they're doing is exactly what WCW was doing in the Monday Night Wars in the 90s. Every fucking thing. Bringing in WWE people. Bashing WWE constantly. This is the same mistakes that WCW made. And who won that war? So, do I think AEW is better than WWE or could ever be better than WWE? No. Not unless WWE dies. Somehow. Even if Vince dies, someone's going to take over, and it's probably going to be Triple H, and the product's probably going to be 10 times better because Vince is like 70, and he's not that good. But anyway, that all aside, that was my little ramble on AEW versus NXT.